Park Wante welcomes Sangwoo into his office as soon as he enters and asks him about his health since getting out of the hospital. Sangwoo then says his thanks and says he wants to see him immediately after he gets discharged. Sangwoo expressed curiosity about the help that Wante did for his sister whom he paid for the treatment. Wante admitted there were some personal emotions involved since he also has a sister, and asked Sangwoo to understand that it wasn't his intention to make him feel indebted. Sangwoo then asks Wante the reason he wants to see him. Wante asks him if his clone's skills could perform physical activity, which Sangwoo confirms. Wante asks for his assistance to save his sister. He emphasizes that he is not asking for repayment for what he did for Sangwoo's family but thinks Sangwoo is the only one who is capable of saving his sister and his raid team as he begs him. Sangwoo recalls the previous accident with his sister and says it's only right since Wante has saved his family. It's his turn to save Wante's sister and asks him what he needs to do. Sangwoo then finds himself in the middle of the Kindness Guild's private sparring gym, thinking that he should be doing the rescue mission right away, but Wante explains that there were two reasons for conducting the training before the rescue mission. First, while executing the mission quickly was important, Team 1 had ample supplies, thanks to his sister's abilities, so there was no immediate urgency. Second, the dungeon's level posed a significant danger, as Team 1, despite being an elite B-class combat team, had suffered injuries and failed to escape. Sangwoo asked if Wante meant that it was too dangerous for him to proceed with the mission, to which Wante confirmed. He then explained the concept of humans gaining tremendous strength in emergency situations, and how this could be reflected in stat growth. Wante emphasized that Sangwoo needed the additional stats to succeed in the mission, as his battle sense alone wouldn't be sufficient. Sangwoo was nervous as Wante charged forward to attack. Junmo then receives a message from Sangwoo telling him he will be taking a break from hunting as he is in the hospital. Sangwoo then arrives with his face beaten down from training, which surprised Junmo. Sangwoo explains what happened to his sister and accepts the request of the Kindness Guild. He also informs Junmo to contact him via the spare phone that one of his clones used before and thinks that this is better for now than to restore his contact's friend in order to focus on the mission at hand. Junmo then asks about the wounds. Sangwoo tells him it is from his training with Wante, which got Junmo angry, and plans to make a complaint, but Sangwoo calms him down. Sangwoo explains that he agreed to it, and informed Junmo of the situation of Wante's sister. He got beaten up, and plans to bring his clones in training. Junmo sighs and decides to bring recovery potions for Sangwoo. The next day Sangwoo brings one of his clones to training and is feeling confident, but the outcome is still the same as he walks with his clone out of the sparring room in tatters. The next day, Sangwoo brought two clones with him, but nothing changed as they were all beaten again. The following day he brought all of his clones with him with the same thought, but just like last time, the same result. Sangwoo enters Junmo's office with a grim, depressed aura due to their defeat. Wante's skills are just on a different level despite Sangwoo's clones being good at copying someone's movements. Sangwoo thought of an idea to bridge the skill gap and asked Junmo where to buy an item he showed him over the phone. Junmo was worried, but Sangwoo assured him that he didn't have to worry. Sangwoo arrives at the sparring room, which surprises Wante as Sangwoo's clones are different from before. Wante asked what Sangwoo did to his clones as they looked monstrous. Sangwoo revealed that he made them eat 60 jewels. Sangwoo explained that since clones were considered summoned creatures, they could absorb jewels, and the added stats from the jewels would also be applied to him. Wante allowed Sangwoo to use whatever weapons he liked with the intent to kill Wante as the clones all attacked at the same time. Wante notices the definite improvement in the clones even though their base stats are worse than Sangwoo. Now they are close in strength due to their monsterization. However, Wante easily countered and landed an attack on a clone, noticing their reduced accuracy. Sangwoo suddenly attacked but was dodged by Wante. Sangwoo pulled out a gun and fired on Wante. However, it has no effect on Wante, who stated that he can't be damaged without mana bullets, then landed a powerful attack on Sangwoo. Sangwoo continued his flurry of attacks with his clones, but it was no use due to the skill gap between them and Wante. As he defended himself, Wante instructed them to let their mana flow from their arms to the blade as if were part of their bodies, and they'd be able to cut through monsters even with a tree branch if they mastered that method. As Wante was able to break the steel weapons of some of the clones with his wooden sword. Sangwoo still has not given up as he attacks one more time. One day also notices that he is stronger than before. He also acknowledged Sangwoo's ability to boost his stats from the jewels but stated it was not enough. Wontae then attacked in quick succession. He informs Sangwoo that he is less than C rank due to his performance. Sangwoo continued to attack and stated that he wouldn't stop at C rank. Sangwoo then calls his clones' attention and orders them to picture Wontae as a jewel which empowers them as they attack at the same time again. Sangwoo recalls his reason for getting stronger was not just to help Wontae, but to not want to feel the helplessness of having to entrust his family members' lives to someone else in the middle of a disaster. 6 months later, at the Sinseodong Station hunting grounds, a party of hunters was getting bullied at the entrance by some members of the Silver Moon Guild who told them to find someplace else to hunt, while the soldier guards were ignoring the situation. The Silver Moon members then told the woman to stay as they would take her to the hunting ground, which scared the woman. Suddenly, a man in a hood shows up and he is stopped by the guards. The man tells them he had already paid for his entry. The leader of the bullying group came forward and stated the Silver Moon Guild was using it, and threw a punch, but was caught barehanded by the hunter in the hoodie, who then countered with a punch of his own, causing the bully to fall on his knees. The hunter recalls the Silver Moon Guild but says it makes no sense since it has nothing to do with him. As he removes his hoodie, it is Sangwoo. After seeing their party leader down, the rest of the Silver Moon Guild surrounded Sangwoo with their weapons drawn, threatening him of their ranks as D-rank hunters and how he couldn't handle them on his own. Sangwoo's clones arrived, surprising the group. Meanwhile, Junwo was visited by Park Wontae, due to his request to see what current level and stats Sangwoo has in just 6 months. Wontae looked at the information and thought Sangwoo should be able to handle the mission. He also stated that he has prepared something in case Sangwoo fails. Wontae acknowledged Sangwoo's monstrous growth and was almost a C class. He estimated that Sangwoo might become a high ranker in the future. Back at the dungeon entrance where Sangwoo is, the guards try to stop him from further attacking the remaining Silver Moon Guild members, saying he has taken it too far. But Sangwoo stated that they should have stopped it the moment they started attacking the other group, and suggested to the guard that they should just go back to his duty watching the entrance. Sangwoo then commands his clones to break their phones so they can't call anyone, while the other hunters just decided to go to a different hunting ground due to what they saw. Inside the hunting ground, a hunter complains about his job but is startled when he hears someone coming from the entrance, thinking that it was their midway inspection from the guild. He tried to greet them but instead, he saw Sangwoo and remembered him from the Yujangsan hunting grounds. He is shocked to see Sangwoo and he asks him how he got inside with all the Silver Moon Guild members at the entrance. Sangwoo asks him why someone as weak as him is inside this D-rank dungeon, noticing that the man isn't there to hunt. Sangwoo requested him to tell what was going on in the dungeon and not worry about the guild members outside, as he showed him a picture of them surrendering. He then tells him the whole process of collecting jewels. It stays for a long time inside the dungeon, and how cruel the collection is. Some of the collectors have caused harm to the guild, others are from lenders, but most are beginner hunters in debt despite the harmful nature of the work. Sangwoo then realizes the situation and tells the hunter to leave now before he changes his mind. The man is touched but suddenly gets told by Sangwoo to leave the jewels. The hunter walks away complaining and Sangwoo commands Clone 1 to eat all the jewels. Meanwhile, in the inner levels of the dungeon, a Silver Moon Guild worker is being chased by a C-class monster. His name is Yuhyan Kim. As Yuhyan runs from the monster, he suddenly trips and falls down from evading one of the monster's attacks. When he is about to be attacked, he is then pulled by Sangwoo to save him. Sangwoo asks where his collected jewels are. Yuhyan said he dropped the jewels as those monsters started chasing him. Sangwoo continued to ask questions regarding the Haizang Guild despite the monsters being close to attacking them. Clone 1 jumped in and defended them from the attacks. Yuhyan was about to run again when Sangwoo grabbed her to ask more questions as more of his clones attacked the monsters that chased Yuhyan. Sangwoo assured her that they were safe when suddenly Clone 1 was taken down by the abomination. Sangwoo was surprised but told Yuhyan to wait for him as he faced it himself. He then drew his cursed sword and attacked the monster with a flurry of attack combinations, but as he was about to deliver the killing blow, he remembered the monster that almost killed him, which caused him to lose focus for a moment, with his clones defending him as he gathered himself and finished the monster with his final attack. slicing it in half. Yu Haiyan was surprised that Sangwoo was able to defeat the abomination. Sangwoo wondered why Clone One's wound wasn't healing. Yu Haiyan mentioned the bone sword of abomination and a curse of corruption on it, and stated that they needed a healer to deal with this situation. Yu Haiyan hands him a potion of some sort to heal Clone One. The potion was effective. Yu Haiyan tells him that it's only for now due to a side effect that will drain its life force since her skill is poison. Sangwoo then commands Clone Number 1 to hunt now before dying from the poison. Yu Haiyan stated that it was Sangwoo's turn to talk about himself, expressing curiosity about his skill and the fact he had killed an abomination. He also never heard of anyone like him in the B ranks. Sangwoo said that it was normal since he was in E rank, which shocked Yu Haiyan. She asks why is he in a D rank dungeon. However, Sangwoo didn't answer and continued to ask her some questions. In the Wailolo Guild warehouse, Guild Master Miho Han is overseeing a collection of items as her guild manager Siana Kim asks why she is collecting jewels. Miho stated that one asked for it, and that he'd pay a lot. She said it's for a person named Sangwoo Jong, and that these jewels are something that he would use. Sangwoo asks Yu Haiyan why she was talking about the Haizang Guild as she was running away. Yu Haiyan tells him that the Silver Moon is under Haizang to do the dirty work for them, and that there are a lot of people who are in the area due to forced labor. Sangwoo asks Yu Haiyan why she was there. She remembers a grim memory, and tells Sangwoo that it is none of his business. Yu Haiyan regretted telling Sangwoo about her skill while Sangwoo bid her farewell. Sangwoo told him that she could leave since there were no more Silver Moon members outside and complimented her poison skill. Yu Haiyan thinks Sangwoo is bullying her, but Sangwoo hands Yu Haiyan a bloody business card, telling her that if she wants to look for work or take revenge on Haizang Guild she can contact him. He commands Clone 5 to escort her to the entrance. Sangwoo continues to hunt monsters as Clone 1 kills another monster before he finally falls due to the poison. He then resummons Clone 1 and continues to hunt, heading deeper into the dungeon. Unaware that there are two members of the Silver Moon Guild whom Sangwoo fought at the dungeon entrance, scared of what Sangwoo is capable of and call him a freak, they talk about how his skill works. As for going back to the dungeon, the party leader presses a part of the wall inside the dungeon that leads into another room which is a laboratory. It is for jewel crystals, where they create a condensed and purified version that is 100 times more effective at increasing stats than a normal jewel. However, the effect is also heightened, causing loyal summons to lose control and not recognize their owner. The WHA banned jewel crystals due to how dangerous it is. But that was the case before the DP project. Tron Industries is right now making a product that would make it available for humans to consume the jewels by further refining it, but securing jewels itself seems difficult due to its illegality, making the price for it skyrocket. The party leader decided to let things be for now and come back tomorrow. After the two left, someone also made an entrance to the secret laboratory. It was Yu Haiyan who entered, after chasing off Clone 5. She then finds the jewel crystals and collects them. As she is getting out of the hidden room, other collectors and hunters rush toward the exit. She sees Clone 5 guiding them. Clone 5 sees Yu Haiyan join the group and thinks that his task is fulfilled. Yu Haiyan was overjoyed after escaping the dungeon while cursing Silver Moon and Haizang Guild. Meanwhile, Sangwoo is pleased with the pile of jewels he collected. Clone number 1 asks if he can consume them, but Sangwoo prefers not to as his clone skill is still on cooldown. He then receives a message from Junmo asking him to come to Kindness Guild headquarters tomorrow for a mission briefing. The following day, the two members of the Silver Moon Guild find out that the jewel crystals are no longer in the hidden room storage. They question the guards. The guard confirms that no other people went in except Sangwoo and the people they trapped inside. He realizes that it would be hard to take back the jewels from Sangwoo. As Yu Haiyan walks back to his place, he complains about what happened but is thankful he did not come out empty-handed. As she checks the jewel crystals, the JM Agency business card falls out of her pocket. She then remembers Sangwoo praising her skill but thought of Sangwoo as an asshole as she walks away. Inside Odin's Tower, an unexplored S-rank dungeon. Hwan Baek is the first to discover and attempt to clear it. He was Korea's strongest first-generation hunter, but he went missing inside and never returned. Despite countless hunters taking on the tower, no one was able to clear even the first area except one hunter, Gurge Lucas, the jumper. Currently, Kindness Guild's Raid Team 1 is trapped inside the dungeon, and one of them is Park Wanti's sister, the team captain. Inside Wanti's office, Junmo asks for more information about the tower as Wanti tells him that the tower has a unique structure. It has an entrance but there is no exit. The only thing that can get through is mana, making telepathy the sole form of communication, also making the options for escape limited as well, finishing the dungeon or by teleportation. Considering Sangwoo's cloning skills, he is the best candidate to do the mission if something goes wrong. Team 1 has a way of getting out but something went wrong. Wante then explained what happened. 5 years ago, after the great disaster in 2005, Park Wante was only 16 years old and his sister Park Yuna was 9, yet both of them were trying to survive during that time. Despite her young age, she displayed an immense talent for her skill, which was subspace, a skill that is able to put items in an area that works like an inventory, and thanks to that, they were able to survive a lot of times due to her skill that can even fit humans inside. Fast forward to the near present, Yuna hits Wante at his back, who is still anxious about their upcoming mission, saying that they need to at least look for a teleport skill user just in case. However, Yuna mentioned they already had teleportation scrolls and there are only a few dozen teleporters in the world and they would not be able to find one soon. She also mentioned that Raid Team 1 is in the best condition. With her skill they have a great chance to clear the dungeon. She asks Wante if he trusts her. Wante is still not confident of the operation despite all the assurance he got from his sister and the raid team. Yuna promises that they will come straight back if things get dangerous, and tells him that she knows the feeling of leaving a family and never coming back. As she demonstrates how her skill has improved, showing him all the supplies in her subspace that she has as well as the teleportation scrolls, and just like that, they moved out to the dungeon. Wante was still worried when they left, but his assistant tells him that he is just too protective of his sister and that he should put some faith in her, as someone knocks at their office telling him that it's time. That same day they left was the same day Wante hosted the awakening program that Sangwoo joined. Their contact procedure was once a week via the teleportation scrolls that Wante provided. Considering the bad reception outside, they formed another team to wait at the entrance of the dungeon. The first week leading to the first month, all was going well and the communication was good, but everything changed after that month. At the entrance of Odin's tower where they had set up the temporary guild barracks, Wante knows that they should be reaching the 25-mile checkpoint. As they were preparing the telepathy scroll, the receiver informed them that as they were on the 3,000 feet into the final stage of the first floor, they were ambushed by an unidentified monster. Most members are battling the monster, injuries sustained. When suddenly everything went unrecognizable due to multiple telepathy scrolls being used at once. When a portal opens via the teleportation scroll as one hunter suddenly comes out with grave injuries, Wante realizes the result of his irresponsibility. Wante knew the hunter who came out injured from the subspace. They called for medics as the portal tried to emit mana again. His assistant repels it so their receiver would still be able to get messages if there were, and instructed him on what to do. The hunter who came out of the subspace injured was named Sante, who tells Wante that the monsters destroyed their scrolls, but due to his injuries he was needed to be sent immediately to the hospital. Wante then gets informed that his sister has a message, saying that the battle is over, and apologizes that their raid was a failure. Yuna stated that she could wait, and asked him not to rush for their rescue and promised she would be back no matter what. That was the last message that Wante received from Yuna and Raid Team 1. Since then, Wante attempted to ask for help from other strong hunters he knew, but none of them even considered going and the mission was considered a death sentence. Some even mocked him for letting his sister and raid team go to the tower. Fast forward to rescuing Sangwoo and knowing what skills he had. Sangwoo realizes why he was told to level up due to the intensity of the mission, which Wante confirms and applauds him for making it seem possible due to his immense improvement in a short amount of time. He then tells Sangwoo that the rescue mission is tomorrow, as he will be escorted up to the entrance of the tower. Inside a hotel, members of the Silver Moon Guild are beaten due to their failure to gather the crystals and the jewel crystals and for failing the mission by their guild leader, Jukil Yang. He then asks for more information on who beat them at the Shinseodong entrance. One member tells him what happened, but they were not able to identify him even by looking at the database for D-rank hunters or higher. Jukil was enraged hearing this. He stomped one of his members as he told them what could happen if they didn't meet their quota to the Haizan Guild on time. He then commands his members to find the person who did it and bring them to him. As he realizes that the result could still be the same, he decides to appoint his vice director Chanseong Khan to execute the mission himself. The next day at the JM agency, Sangwoo tells Junmo that he feels strange about how Wontae seems to be leaving something important about the reason why his sister went to raid the tower. Junmo says that he doesn't know a lot in the hunter world but is familiar with the tower. In an interview regarding George Lucas clearing the tower, he was asked by the reporters about what was inside the tower. He said with a serious look on his face that it was empty and there were only monsters, no treasure or items, and that never again should anyone enter the tower recklessly, as it results in death. Sangwoo was still curious why Wontae sent his best team to clear the dungeon but decided to just focus on rescuing them. As they head into their office, they see Wu Yuhyan sleeping at their office door. Sangwoo tells him what happened when they met, and tells her to come to them if she did not have anywhere else to work. Wu Yuhyan wakes up seeing Junmo so close to her when suddenly her stomach growls. The three of them went to the nearby restaurant. Yuhyan ate hastily as Sangwoo asked if she came to work for the agency. She confirmed. Junmo asks what her skill is and she tells him that she can appraise items and make potions, which Sangwoo chimes in stating that it's potions that will kill you. Yuhyan was angered and explained she also knows how to make potions that don't kill. Sangwoo tells Junmo that he likes her skills and wants to use them. Junmo asked if Sangwoo was planning to use it on his clones. Sangwoo confirms. Sangwoo then tells Junmo to prepare equipment for making potions. Sangwoo prepared to leave and told Yuhyan he would be heading to the dungeon not to hunt but something different. She then threw a couple of potions to Sangwoo. One potion was for mana and one was for strength. The only downside was the strength potion would make his muscles melt, and that the mana potion would make his body explode. Sangwoo heads out with the rest of his clones. Like and subscribe if you want me to continue the next chapters, and thank you for watching.